This is Year 6 at Shirley Heath Junior School, working hard on a Monday morning. Mrs. Butler knows her class enjoys the lessons, but she can sense when they're not giving 100%.
We can tell when they're ready for the Daily Mile. We get a bit antsy, we get maybe people looking out the window, wanting to go outside, get some fresh air, change of scene, maybe that concentration slacking a little bit, and just finding that maybe they're not focusing on their work as well as they could be.
The teachers use their own discretion to decide when the children need to do their 15 minutes of exercise. And Mrs. Butler is about to give them the good news.
I think it's time for us to go outside for our Daily Mile.
Yay! And they're off. 15 minutes of running, jogging, or even just walking around the field to get their energy levels up.
I'm just thinking about winning because I love winning. I'm really competitive, so I don't really take it as like just fresh air. I just want to win.
I feel energetic, like when you go back in you feel like you're ready to work again.
Sometimes when lessons I'm not doing that well and we go and do a Daily Mile, I come back and I'm tired but my brain's working.
I like the Daily Mile because even though it's hard while you're doing it, once you've finished it's worth it when you go back into class and you're ready to learn now.
It makes you a bit happier and it makes you like that you've improved your running, which makes like when you go into the classroom you feel more positive.
We thought it was a fantastic opportunity to get all the children to become more fit for their life, fit for their learning, so that every single day they can improve themselves.
So it's a good thing to teach mums and dads as well, isn't it? And say to them, come and have a run with us, yeah?
Yeah.
So are you ready to do one more, do you think, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, all right, we'll get you filmed on this one. So good luck, guys. This is the last one, and enjoy it. See you in a bit.
This class at Sutton Road Primary School in Mansfield has been busy in lessons all morning.
Once you've done that, if we start practicing our skills...
Behind desks or at computers is where you'd expect to see children when they're at school.
Are you ready? 15 minutes starts now then, come on guys.
But once a day, every student puts on their trainers to get outside and run, jog or walk for 15 minutes.
You get some fresh air and you get to run around and talk with your friends when you're allowed to in class, and when you're really stressed in class you can just be really free out here and just run around.
After I come in from the Daily Mile I feel motivated and I can concentrate better in the work when it gets really difficult.
I've got a little bit faster and I've been able to do more laps, and it's been helping me with my work. It's made me a bit more confident for when I'm running with my club.
The target is to cover a mile a day and to get fitter, healthier and boost concentration when the children return to class. There are now more than 2,200 schools in England signed up to the official scheme. This is all part of the fight against childhood obesity. Figures from the NHS show that a fifth of children aged 10 to 11 are classed as obese. Government guidelines say the same age group should be completing an hour of physical activity a day, but only 18% are doing that. That is on the up though, so it does appear that the Daily Mile could be helping increase that number. The run is all done at a child's own pace, and teachers here say no child gets left behind.
They know it's not a race, it's about beating their personal best, so they'll count the laps and then the next day they'll go out and see if they can beat it, and the ones that do, they're just so energetic and positive about it. They have a real sense of achievement.
For some of our children it's just what they need to focus for that little bit longer in a lesson, and just as well self-esteem and building that resilience and that positive ethos has had a massive impact on our children.
All good signs if the next generation is to prosper inside the classroom and outside of it. Matt Ratcliffe, ITV News, Mansfield.
Umbrellas up and hoods on. Natasha and her family are ditching wheels for walking. To mix up the school run, they park a short distance away and finish the journey on foot for a spot of exercise, fresh air and good company.
In the morning, it's a nice 10 minutes just together and just us. No radio, no squabbling in the car, so it's nice.
The family are taking part in the Park and Stride campaign by walking charity Living Streets. The idea is a simple one: park 10 minutes or so from school and walk the rest, keeping children active and the roads near schools safe.
It's really important from an activity point of view, but also from a clean air point of view as well. We want to improve air quality, we want to improve congestion, particularly around school gates, where cars and, as you can see behind me, cars and congestion can make the school area quite unsafe really.
The message here is that exercise can form part of your day. It's not necessarily about sacrificing time, but it is important that it's regular, and that means, of course, whatever the weather. A look at the latest child obesity figures suggests this message about regular exercise still needs to get through. Across the West Midlands, 14.8% of pupils in Year 6, so around 10 or 11 years old, are overweight. That's above the national average. More than a fifth of them were obese, also above the national average. And in Stoke, that figure for obesity was even higher, almost 25%. But the charity says that at Natasha's children's school, they've seen walking rates go up by more than 2/3. And they found just the way to motivate pupils.
We incentivise children to walk to school, take up active travel with a badge, which is our badges here. And the children basically win these badges, get awarded these badges if they walk once a week, at least once a week to start with, every week for a month.
It's excellent to see children walking. We always want children to be active. Part of our PSHE curriculum is healthy minds, healthy bodies, so it all feeds into that healthy attitude to life.
It may just be a morning stroll, but it could be the first step to choosing the healthier path later on. Melissa Wright, ITV News, Stoke-on-Trent.
It's just after lunch and these 5 to 7-year-olds are taking part in a Keep Fit session called the Daily Boost. They do a different physical activity each day for 15 minutes.
Gives you energy.
And what do you do with all that energy?
It wakes work. I just like doing sports, and sports is one thing that can keep you fit.
What's your favourite sport?
Probably swimming. Makes you fit, happy and healthy.
When it comes to the children in class, they're more alert, they're more switched on, they're ready to learn. They may have been a bit sluggish after their lunch.
For the last 2 years, the school has been involved in the Daily Mile campaign, which encourages children to be more active. They love running, and so far they've clocked up 46,000 miles.
It helps you to be healthy when you're older, and it helps you to be energised.
Take it steady down, Stabs.
Keeps you fit, and it makes you, helps you be ready for your work.
Keep going.
Enjoy running because you get fit, and at the same time you have fun.
It's because it keeps your muscle and body stronger.
The important things for me is to build a lifelong habit of activity, of physical exercise, that it isn't just for the elite, it's for everybody. Everybody can do it. It doesn't matter, you know, what you look like, how big you are, how strong you are. You can all do some activity and keep yourself healthy for the rest of your life.
Leicester City Council says 26 schools have signed up to the scheme, but they want more to join up.
It's an easy initiative to put in. It's free for the children, the parents and the school. It's a quick and simple initiative that makes small changes where you can make a big difference.
It won't be long before the children have run 50,000 miles. Rajiv Poppet, ITV News, Leicester.
Today I'm back at my old school, Holly Lodge, to take part in a PE lesson. I've got my kit on, so let's see if I can keep up with the Year 8s in a game of netball. Let's go, girls! It's been 20 years since I was last at school, and PE was my least favourite subject. I wasn't very good at sport and was happy to see the back of PE lessons when I left school. But fast forward 2 decades and a lot has changed. There's more choice.
I take part in football, netball, I played in the rounders team, dodgeball, and I did a bit of the athletics. I really like sports, and I feel like you can work together as a team with other people, meet new people, make more friends.
and it's less competitive.
When I started here, sport was for the sporty children, the ones who enjoyed sport. It's very competitive, and I suppose those children who didn't enjoy sport, weren't particularly good at sport, they perhaps weren't encouraged as much. What we now do is encourage everybody to take part.
Holly Lodge runs a number of before and after school sports clubs, but the take-up numbers can vary and teachers do struggle to keep pupils engaged.
It's been a little bit tougher keeping pupils and maintaining them to stay in extracurricular clubs. When it's a new school year like now, the turnout normally picks up quite well in September, but then as the year goes on and the other draws start coming, or if it gets a bit colder or a bit darker earlier, they can start to dwindle off then.
NHS figures show 1 in 5 children are obese when they leave primary school.
When I first started here and when you were here, you know, walk to school. Now we probably have a 50-50 split. Children played out in the park. Now they've got technology, they've got their laptops, they've got their phones, they've got their gaming consoles that they play on.
If you play too much sports, you're going to get tired easily. And if you play too much games, then your eyes are going to get bad. If you do a bit in the middle, they can get equal rest and equal playing.
The parents aren't really encouraging the kids to go out as much because it's an easy way to calm down your kids, just giving them a controller and letting them sit down for hours and hours upon time.
A lot has changed since I left school. It's not just about academic success anymore, but physical and mental well-being. Balvinder Sidhu for ITV News.
The physical benefits are clear, but sports scientists at this university think it could help children in the classroom too. Researchers here conducted a study to see if exercise could improve pupils' attention span and short-term memory. Children aged 11 to 13 were tested before and after 1 hour of exercise. The results showed response times to the tests after exercise improved by 10%.
It could be a psychological thing, so it could be a mood-based thing. It could be physiological, so it could be changes within the brain. And it could also be, in some of the studies where we've used team games and things like that, it could be an enjoyment factor.
Some of the tests also challenged pupils to select the correct keyboard arrow to hit. Others were asked to recall a series of random letters. The results suggest improved accuracy and concentration levels, along with quicker decision-making.
It could maybe even be used around exams as well. So, if you can do some exercise maybe before an exam, you could then see an improvement in exam performance as well.
PhD student Cara Dring has also been looking at how glucose and insulin levels in the blood are linked to the rise of type 2 diabetes among children. She believes short bursts of activity, such as running around during school break time, can make a huge difference.
If young people are physically active, that will track through into adulthood and they'll become physically active adults as well. So it's about setting in those patterns from a young age and making sure we focus on lifelong health and physical activity.
You feel energetic, like when you go back in you feel like you're ready to work again.
So the message is clear. A daily mile can lead to a healthy mind as well as a healthy body. Phil Brewster, ITV News.